So as I was saying, in regards to the books, they weren't in a particular order. Pretty much went through my photo album, just trying to find all the books that I've ever read that have helped me. Went through my iBooks, went through my personal library. So they were just as I remember them, I was like, ah, this book, this book, this book, this is the one. Write it down. It helps you. And I was just remembering the different lessons that I attributed to each book.
Right. So you talk about vision board a lot. You're a big fan of vision boards. So would you would you like to tell us like some success story about your vision board and how people can go about having their own vision board?
So I'll answer. I don't know which one to answer first in terms of how do I want to. Okay, so vision boards. I love vision boards. There's something about. So me being a creator, there's something about visually seeing something. I think it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to see it, and then it's another thing to work towards it. Sometimes, if I just said it in my head, it probably won't come to pass. Like even me naturally, I'm a type A person who has to write things before I get it done. If I don't write it, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to forget. So with vision boards, I came about like that idea of, hey, I'm going to visualize this and I'm going to check it off as I'm coming across it. So some successful vision boards, and I don't even want people to think that this idea of vision boards, it also always has to be attributed to big fancy goals like buying a car or going here. Although there are those type of vision boards. I've made those type of vision boards. I was reflecting on my Pinterest the other day, and there were simple. The way I'll show everybody now. So on my Pinterest board, when I first started joining Pinterest about 4 years ago, please Pinterest ambassador me, because the way I tell people about Pinterest all the time, I make my visual vision boards on Pinterest. So about 4 years ago, I believe, I made my first couple of boards on Pinterest, and one of them is called Self/Enlightened. When I used to have a blog called Enlightened, so I looked back and I saw in the beginning the type of pins I was saving. Some of them were like, oh, 10 years from now, make sure you can say you chose the life that you wanted, or things like do it with passion. Those are things that at the time, when 4 years ago, I wanted to start incorporating into my life. So my vision was to become a woman who did things with passion, didn't do and would not do anything if it didn't have passion, or a woman that moved in conviction and said, I'm going to start somewhere even if I don't know everything. And these are the type of pins that I first saved, and I look back now and I look at how I've been able to attribute it and I've been able to attach that to my lifestyle. And now even the pins that I'm saving now, they're moving forward for a different vision, more so being a woman who's more so intentional, more committed. And with going along with vision boards, there are also other vision boards like vacation places. To God be the glory, I've been to Dubai. That was a vision. So when I used to talk, God, this Dubai, I was rich there. I was rich this Dubai. This year, by the grace of God, before COVID, teardrop, God bless, I reached that Dubai and I could only thank God. So what I would say, and I also have other pins. I have other pins regarding even professional career outlooks. I made a vision board for my classroom, how I wanted my classroom to look like last summer. It came to life because of the visualization aspect. So I really do encourage people. It's visual manifestation. So by the grace of God, you say this is what you want something to look like. God, of course, will give you far beyond what you can imagine and think. So it's just a matter of, hey, God, according to your will, this is what I want to do, X, Y, and Z. And then let him rearrange the pictures, let him rearrange the images and the words that you want to attach to everything. Ooh, I can talk about vision boards called the God.
All right. So in your book, you mentioned that there was like a mood for everything, especially in music sense-wise, right? So I just want to ask, what mood did you set for writing this book?
The mood, I remember the day. The mood I set for writing the book, African praise. It was pretty much African praise. It was my gospel worship. It was my gospel playlist. So it would start like this. So it was a good 72 hours to write the book. I sat down in my kitchen, my parents' kitchen. From morning time till night time, it was pretty much praises. And it was just praising. The mood was, I'm going to praise God in advance for what he's about to do with this book. I'm going to praise God for what he has done in my life for me to write this book. And I'm going to continue to thank him for every single thing that he has done. So I remember, like, it was from Talk by Alabi to Fred Heyman. Like, I'm just sitting, Travis Gray, just sitting there writing a couple of days straight. And then some days, of course, we'll mix it up with Afro beats when I'm getting tired. I said, come on, we need energy. So here comes Whiskey, here comes Olamide, and I was just reflecting on old music. So it was nostalgia. So throwback, like remembering where I was at the time of the stories that I was telling and the mindsets that I was in, but also just praising God for those spaces and then praising him in advance for where he's going to take me after the production of this book.
Right.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So, in your book, you say, by challenging my belief, I question my insecurity, were present, and I realized they were never real in the first place. What are you trying to say by that simple question? Yeah, it's a complex, sentence.
Like something.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was having a phenomenal conversation with one of my best friends, and we were basically talking about how it was when, coming to God's presence that you really sit and you think about all the things that people have said to you, all the things that people have said to you that you made Bible, how they're not real. And it's until you challenge yourself to ask, why did you accept this as your God? Like, why did you accept that you were dumb when people said you were dumb? Or why did you accept that you were ugly when people said you were ugly? Or why did you accept that you will never make it X, Y, and Z? And of course, we know the power of words, we know the power of mind, but once you get onto the other side, you are, and this is the idea of that other side, once you overcome those state of minds, or you're overcoming, you sit and you really think about they're all lies. They're all not true. This is not what God has said for me. And it speaks to that bigger idea that it wasn't until, not even until like last year, that I started to really accept that God has said good things about me. He has said good things regarding my life. Even the next person, my neighbor, he said good things about them, good things about their life. Society and the world may say otherwise, but it takes challenging what society has said to realize that it's not real, because only what God has said about you is the real thing.
Right.
That was.
I feel you on that. All right. So, the art of the now. There's a chapter in your book called the art of the now. So now that you have released your book, how has the reception been so far? And like, what are the feedback? One feedback I'll give you is that I love the packaging. I love it so much.
Thank you. The art of now. For me now, I was telling my roommate this morning, I feel like a new person. It's not even I feel like a transformed person. And it's crazy how the art of now, I'm thankful to God that he allowed me to push forth to that book. And for me now is just continuing to walk in the plans and the missions that he has for me, and just continuously to earnestly seek him, because I know that without him I'm nothing. And it's more so just allowing his grace to be sufficient enough for me, and realizing that from now, like this is my second interview about my book. I was able to talk to some young women and gift them with a copy of my book, and it's just can I tell you, I still don't believe I wrote a book this 2020. Maybe in 2025, I'll be like, after I dropped another book, I'll be like, oh, I did write a book in 2020 and missed the pandemic. Really? Like, I tell you, I think I'm still walking in the days where it's like, I have to tell people now I'm a self-published author. It's weird to me. Like, it's no more, I'm Haleemat Adekoya, I'm X, Y, and Z. But I now have to incorporate and sell the fact that I wrote a book so that it can make sales. And again, it's like, is me? Me? God is me?
Right.
So that's the art of now. And the art of now is just what's next? What's next in this journey, God? What's next? What other idea are you going to place in my heart? Come on.
Yeah. So, like in the art of now, right? Like I understand that we are in a very fragile state right now, especially with the Black Lives Movement happen, and I do believe that Black lives do matter. A lot of people
I
are
do
like,
believe.
we are in a moment where this fight that we are taking should not just stop where we are right now. It should continue until we see a change.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
what do you want to tell people out there that are still trying to be the best of themselves, yet still fighting for equality in this system that we are in?
I say there's a couple of things I'll say. For one, find your power because we all have power. Now find where God has called you to have power. And I'll definitely say, and I want to just keep encouraging people to know that you have a stake in this fight. When you have breath, when you have life, you have a purpose. And your purpose, one way or another, is tied to your community. And I'll definitely want people to know that at the forefront of every conversation we have is humanity. You have to value humanity, you have to value the lives of human beings. And I keep saying this, your accolades should never be attributed to the fact that you should be treated as a human being and as you matter. Ensure that every time you enter a space, kindness is at the fruit of the conversations. Ensure that anytime you enter a space, you're making sure that everybody feels seen and heard. And I think it's a matter of letting people know that you've been called into a certain space of mission, a plan. Let God use you, and you yourself surrender to be used. And for me, I'm even telling students, you being a student, you're already fighting for equality one way or another because you're maximizing the fact that somebody fought for you to be in your seat.
Right.
If you use that seat, you pay attention, you even go back and relearn what they've taught you and say challenge what they've taught you. You're on a path because by the grace of God you get through it, you see it through. You're going to enter a space where you're going to change the world with your educational career. Or even, and I kept saying this, we have to just realize some people are called to be the arms, some people are called to be the legs, some people are called to be the ligaments. Wherever you're called to be, again, allow yourself to be used. And I think at the middle and center of everything, and people may not want to hear this, is love. I know it's love and compassion because even in the word it says of all three things is love, faith, and hope. And I have faith that we're all fighting and we're all moving in the right direction. Well, I don't know how you're fighting it, whether you're out physically and out in the protest, or whether you're in a classroom, or whether you're a photographer, or whether you're an interviewer like this. You're fighting for the rights and for the humanity of people. And I'll definitely say that it's something that you should find peace and solitude with and find community. We can't do this fight alone.
Right.
So please find continuously encourage you and empower you. And just know that when you have life, you have purpose, and maximize that purpose.
That's true. That's true. Haleemat Adekoya, thank you so much for being with us on Writer's Corner. You can find her book on haleeade.com.
Yes, .com.
HALEEADE.com. It's an easy
I love it.
it's an easy book to read. The Art of Transformation, and it's a very short book, but yeah, it's transformative. Follow her on Instagram, HALEEADE.
Yes, perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Haleemat Adekoya.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope
You're
you all have a
welcome.
beautiful day. God bless you.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.